commémorer les soldats morts à la guerre. To live in heart we leave behind is not to die, wrote the Irish poet Thomas Campbell. That's why we are all here today, because we think it's important to remember those people who sacrificed their lives to make us free. Because we think we can bring them back to life for a few moments by paying them a tribute.
Indeed, there is no doubt that we all have a duty by them, and that at least we have to respect what they did. They offered us a future, and we cannot spoil their gifts, nor forget about it. As teenagers who do not know much about war, we decided to find young girls and boys who fought, and who could have been us if we had been born just a few years ago. So let us tell their story.
My name is Colette Maureen Catherine. I'm 16. We are in June 1944. 2 years ago, I decided to take part in the resistance. My 17-year-old brother, also in the resistance, was arrested a few days ago. Its anti-resistance network was destroyed by the Germans. Many resistance teens were taken to concentration camps. It is as if they were already dead. Now we try to be as discreet as possible because we are afraid of the German omnipresence. It was during the 6th. I saw a German sidecar with a wounded German officer. I can say it was happy to see someone who was bleeding, but when we think of all the horrors that these, and suddenly this wounded, peaceful German in his sidecar, gentlemen, that was the beginning of the end. Liberation was close.
My name is Marcel Hamel. We're on June the 6th, early in the morning. In a sort of semi-consciousness, I see fantastic shadows appearing from nowhere. We dress quickly and go out into the yard. Once more, the sky is full of a continuous fuming, which is growing louder. I walk a short distance on the pathway. At the neighbor's fence, a man is sitting. He is carrying a heavy bag and is fully armed. A rifle, a gun, and a sort of cutlass. In English, I ask him whether his plane was shot down. It is a good invasion. Thousands and thousands of paratroopers are descending here tonight, he told me. The American told me he would like to look at his map in a place where his electric torchlight can't be seen. In the classroom, he takes out an ordnance survey map. He asks me to show him our exact location, and I show him the furthest way to the closest railway, where he is supposed to meet his comrades. He seems perfectly calm and in control of himself. But the hand I shake is very sweaty, so I wish him good luck for the coming days.
My name is Yvette Barrault. I was born in February 1929. My father was a French smuggler, which means he was helping wanted people crossing the French borders. He made me become a smuggler myself when I was 15. It was my father who was in charge of spying on the German soldiers in order to know where he could send hundreds of clandestines in the day. Once I had his confirmation, I could start helping people going through the forest, which was the border between the free zone and the occupied one. We were risking our lives for these people who wanted to escape from the German soldiers, not to be imprisoned or executed. This kind of role during the war was very hard, and we had to be very discreet. It was illegal to help them leaving the country without the French and German soldiers' permission and ID checking. If one of us was caught crossing clandestinely this line, we would be put in prison or killed. I remember once, after we had helped a lot of people crossing the line, my father and I were resting at home. Then German soldiers arrived at our house. I was very scared, but fortunately, our neighbor invited them to have a drink. Actually, I think they had more than one drink, because while I was looking at them through my window, I saw they were not walking straight. Our neighbor saved us many times with this trick. My entire youth was dedicated
joined
to
the
help
first
my
wave of
father.
the assault on Omaha Beach. During the landing, our assault boat was blocked 75 yards from the shore. So I went to the cold water, where I saw bodies floating everywhere. I began to run, holding tight my rifle, and went directly towards the beach, noticing all my comrades pulling one by one. I knew that there was nothing I could do for them. As I was making my way through all the obstacles set up by the Nazis, I was shot in the right leg, and when I tried to get up, a shotgun rampaged my left leg. The pain was indescribable. Once on the beach, I realized that we'd be shot dead if Nazis noticed us. So I gathered all the wounded and urged them into arming themselves. As I looked back to the sea, I saw nothing. I thought that we had been abandoned. The end was nigh. Nonetheless, a colonel told us that the Nazis were retreating. We had won this battle.
My name is Odie Murphy, and I am 16 years old. I was a regular teenager until I decided to falsify my birth date to enroll in the army during World War II. My name is Odie Murphy, and I went to war at 17 years old. During the war, I have been wounded 3 times and contracted malaria, but I never stopped fighting. My name is Odie Murphy, and I've been a victim of war. Finally, I became the most decorated American soldier of history. I became a war hero at 19 years old. But I never managed to get on with my life because I suffered from post-traumatic stress the entire time after the war. I wonder what my life would have been in a time of peace. I wonder how it feels to lead a regular teenager life. I wonder if people will remember us, the ones who sacrificed their life for the next generation. They should always remember.
In the end, all of these young men and women who took part in what was to become the greatest war in human history did so with an amazing amount of courage and determination. They wanted to fight for what they believed in. They risked their lives for their families and their country. They were ready to die in order to assure the next generations of a more peaceful world in which such a conflict would never take place again. What they did was beyond honourable, and we should thus always pay them the tribute they thoroughly deserve. It is our duty to carry on this remembrance torch and never let it die out, by organising ceremonies such as this one, or simply by having a thought for them in a while.
What strikes me the most is that these teenagers knew that they were risking their lives. They were well aware of the fact that they might not see their friends and families ever again. But they were more willingful to die for their country than to see it fall under the disgraceful hands of the enemy. And that is what makes their actions so heroic. You know, a huge part of our English curriculum this year was trying to define the notion of hero. One might say a hero is someone gifted with outstanding capabilities who achieves extraordinary prowesses. But in this case, a hero was someone who achieved what was right in a world where everything went wrong. And all these little rights accomplished by these resistance and all the others who helped them saved our country, brought freedom and peace. Thank you very much.